Hey everyone! Y'all ready to dig in and get our hands dirty? I'm so excited to be sharing some of my favorite urban gardening hacks with you today. Whether you have a tiny balcony, a small patio, or just a sunny windowsill, we can create a thriving green space together. Think of it like this. Your home is your canvas, and we're about to paint it with the colors of nature. We're going to talk about everything from vertical gardens to charming container gardens. And the best part? You don't need a green thumb to make it happen. So grab your gardening gloves and let's get started. I can't wait to see the amazing urban oases you create. First up, let's talk about vertical gardening. This is one of my favorite ways to maximize space, especially in urban settings where square footage is precious. Imagine this, a plain wall transformed into a lush, cascading garden. You can use hanging planters to create a beautiful display of cascading flowers or trailing herbs. Wall-mounted pots are another great option, and they come in so many styles. Herbs like rosemary, thyme, and oregano thrive in vertical gardens, and their fragrant leaves will make your home smell amazing. For a pop of color, try cascading petunias, vibrant verbenas, or delicate sweet alyssum. One tip, choose a location that gets plenty of sunlight. Most plants need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day. Vertical gardens tend to dry out faster, so water them more frequently than traditional containers. Trust me, once you start thinking vertically, you'll be amazed at how much gardening you can do, even in the smallest of spaces. Now let's talk about container gardening. This is a game changer for those of us with limited outdoor space, or even just for adding pops of greenery indoors. The beauty of container gardening is that you can create a garden anywhere, on a balcony, a patio, a fire escape, even a sunny windowsill. The first thing you need is the right container. You can use traditional terracotta pots, or get creative with repurposed items. Think galvanized buckets, vintage crates, or even old boots. When choosing your containers, just make sure they have good drainage. For small spaces, I love using dwarf varieties of vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Herbs like basil, mint, parsley, and cilantro are all relatively easy to grow and add fresh flavor to your cooking. And of course, don't forget about flowers. Annuals like petunias, marigolds, and zinnias will give you a burst of color all season long. The key to successful container gardening is to choose plants that are well suited to the amount of sunlight you have available. So do a little research, find out what grows best in your area, and have fun creating your own little green oasis. Remember, gardening is about experimenting and finding what works best for you. Now, who doesn't love the smell of fresh herbs? Bringing a little bit of the outdoors inside can instantly brighten up your kitchen. Plus, having fresh herbs at your fingertips makes cooking so much more enjoyable. One of the easiest ways to create an indoor herb garden is to start with a sunny windowsill. South-facing windows get the most sunlight, but east or west-facing windows will work too, as long as your plants get at least 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight each day. You can use individual pots for each herb, or for a more cohesive look, try planting several herbs together in a larger container. Just make sure the container has good drainage, and use a high-quality potting mix that's formulated for growing herbs. Basil is a classic choice and adds incredible flavor to pasta sauces, pizzas, and salads. Mint is another easy-to-grow herb and is perfect for making refreshing drinks and adding a cool touch to desserts. Parsley is a must-have for any kitchen and adds a fresh, bright flavor to a variety of dishes. Cilantro is a bit more delicate but is worth the effort for its unique citrusy flavor. And rosemary, with its beautiful, fragrant needles, is perfect for adding a savory touch to roasted meats and vegetables. Remember to water your herbs regularly, fertilize them every few weeks, and harvest them often to encourage new growth. Now, if you're really craving that sense of community and want to connect with fellow gardening enthusiasts, community gardening is the perfect solution. Community gardens are popping up in cities all over the country. They're essentially shared garden spaces where people can rent a plot of land to grow their own fruits, vegetables, flowers, or herbs. One of the things I love most about community gardening is that it fosters a sense of shared responsibility and connection. You're all in it together, working towards a common goal, and helping each other along the way. Plus, community gardens often have experienced gardeners who are happy to share their knowledge and offer guidance to those who are new to gardening. Community gardens are a great place to meet your neighbors, make new friends, and build relationships with people in your community. Many community gardens host potlucks, workshops, and other events throughout the year, which are always a lot of fun. If you're interested in joining a community garden, I encourage you to do a little research and find one that's a good fit for you. The sense of community, the fresh air, and the joy of growing your own food make it all worthwhile. Now, let's talk about how we can bring a little bit of technology into our gardens. There are some amazing smart gardening tools out there that can make our lives easier, help our plants thrive, and even save us some precious time. One of my favorite smart gardening tools is the self-watering planter. These planters have a built-in reservoir that holds water, so you don't have to water your plants as often. They're a lifesaver for forgetful gardeners or those of us who travel frequently. Another game changer is the Smart Grow Light. These lights use LED technology to provide the perfect spectrum of light for plant growth, even if you don't have a lot of natural light in your home. They're perfect for growing herbs indoors, starting seeds, or giving your houseplants a little boost during the winter months. There are now apps that connect to sensors in your soil and send you reminders when it's time to water your plants. There are even smart gardening tools that can monitor the temperature, humidity, and nutrient levels in your soil and provide you with personalized recommendations for caring for your plants. So don't be afraid to embrace technology in your gardening journey. These smart tools can help take some of the guesswork out of gardening, giving you more time to enjoy the fruits and vegetables and flowers of your labor. Y'all know I love a good DIY project, and when it comes to gardening, upcycling is one of my favorite ways to add a personal touch, save money, and be kind to the environment all at the same time. One of the most versatile upcycling materials for the garden is the humble wooden pallet. You can easily dismantle a pallet and use the slats to create a vertical garden, a raised garden bed, a potting bench, or even a charming garden trellis. Tin cans are another great upcycling material. Give them a good wash, punch some drainage holes in the bottom, and decorate them with paint, fabric scraps, or whatever strikes your fancy. They make adorable planters for herbs, succulents, or small flowers. Old mason jars are perfect for starting seeds indoors. Just fill them with seed starting mix, plant your seeds, and place them on a sunny windowsill. Don't throw away those empty wine bottles either. They can be transformed into beautiful decorative elements in your garden. Upcycling is all about seeing the potential in everyday objects and giving them a new purpose. Now, as much as I love the idea of a garden that's bursting with color all year round, it's important to remember that nature has its own rhythm, and embracing that rhythm is key to a thriving garden. Seasonal planting is all about working with nature, not against it. Before you start planting, take some time to research which plants thrive in your specific climate and during which seasons. Some plants, like tomatoes and peppers, love the heat of summer, while others, like kale and spinach, prefer the cooler temperatures of spring and fall. By choosing plants that are well suited to the current season, you'll set yourself up for success and ensure that your garden is always at its peak. In the spring, after the last frost has passed, it's time to plant your warm season vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and squash. You can also plant colorful annuals like zinnias, marigolds, and petunias to add a burst of cheer to your garden. As the weather warms up in summer, focus on keeping your plants well watered and fertilized. In the fall, it's time to plant cool season vegetables like lettuce, spinach, kale, and broccoli. And even in the winter, you can still enjoy fresh herbs and vegetables by growing them indoors. Just choose plants that are well suited to low light conditions and keep them in a sunny windowsill. Embrace the rhythm of nature, experiment with different plants and techniques, and most importantly, have fun. See, no space is too small to create your own little slice of paradise. Whether you're drawn to the vertical gardens, charmed by containers, or find peace in tending to an indoor herb garden, there's an urban gardening hack out there for everyone. Remember, gardening is about so much more than just plants. It's about connecting with nature, creating something beautiful, and finding moments of peace and tranquility in the midst of our busy lives. So go out there, get your hands dirty, and let's grow something beautiful together.